So, hi everyone, let's welcome Miss Meghna, and she is from Pakistan, and she's just recently qualified her ACCA. I know her from my free WhatsApp community, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah, so I just remember that I saw her status where she got a job in EY, and I remember it that I was not able to reply, but I had it in back of my mind that I have to congratulate her since she was very, you can say, close to me at one point in time when we were talking about her journey with SBR. So,
yeah,
anyways, congratulations first of all, Meghna, and kudos to you that you've completed your ACC and now you're working also, that too in like span of time. You just completed and you got a job.
yeah.
So,
Thank you so
I
much.
first of all want you to give your introduction to the viewers, like what your profile looks like.
I'm basically from the interiors. There's interior Sindh in Pakistan, province is Sindh, and there's again the interior Sindh, which is like a town type of city, small city, and you can say like that. I actually belong from there, Shikarpur, and then I transferred here in the Karachi, and I started my journey as a SCC affiliate. And currently, I'm working at EY, Ernst and Young Force, as an audit associate. And currently, my first client is very much large client, which is a Gates Pharma. So I don't know, is it by chance or it is by my luck. So that's why it's going very good. And that's it about me.
That's great. That's great. So I want you to first emphasize on how did you crack the job? Like, how did you end up knowing that there was an opening in E&Y? What was the process? Like, how do you get this job?
Basically, when I gave my last paper, it was 4th of September when I gave my last paper and it was a triple A, and I was little bit unsure whether I will be clearing my paper or not. So that's why I was not applying for the job as well. I was bit like silent on the jobs because I was not sure that whether I will pass my paper or not. And then gradually I started. I was like, चलो अगर job अगर paper pass नहीं भी होगा, so start applying the job as well. So at that time, it was month of the September, and mid of the September, I started searching the jobs. I went on the LinkedIn, I went on the SSC careers and all that. But on LinkedIn, I didn't find much about like big four firms as I was looking for them,
Mm,
PwC, KPMG, and EY. But I saw some of the opportunities through the SCCA careers. Like there was opportunities about PI and some other companies, Tanzim and company chartered accountants and somehow, but they were not a big four firm. They were some of them were the firms that were non big four, and some of them were like from jobs from the industry. But I
mm,
wanted to join firms, but I was trying to apply everywhere, whatever I was looking for. And then gradually when October came, the again result anxiety triggered me. I was like, I'm applying for the jobs, and what will happen if I didn't clear my paper? So I stopped applying the jobs. Then I waited for my result, and on 16th of October, my result came, and fortunately, I cleared my last exam. It was a triple A, and then I got active on the jobs because I was sure now I am an SSC affiliate. Because before that, I was applying my jobs as an SSC finalist,
mm,
and some of the companies don't prefer the finalist or part qualified. They are looking for the SSC affiliate, the qualified person.
yeah.
So that's why they I changed my CV, and I think CV plays a big role in your jobs as well because
Mm,
I kept my CV very much simple,
mm,
and I think that was the point that my CV didn't reject it from anywhere. Like
wow.
whenever, whatever, and whenever I applied, I got the response. I think that was the role of my CV that I kept very simple and very basic and with a good template, decent that gives a look.
That's
So
all.
that was a point. One of the I encountered was a CV that I made.
Mm,
Moreover, job process was bit of the anxiety as well because you are not sure about yourself because a lot of people tell you that this will happen. You cannot get jobs in Big Four and all that. We keep hearing those criticisms as well. I
yeah,
went across it. There was a lot of demotivation as well because, and I'm being very impatient girl. I was like, मुझे जल्दी job मिल जाए. I was like this.
I know.
And after 16th of October I started applying for the jobs, and जो big four firms होती हैं वो नवंबर में अपनी jobs opening करती हैं.
Okay. Hmm.
And I think KPMG starts from end of the October, because they wait for the results of the CS, and
Hmm.
then they start opening the inductions as well. And considering, so when the first that came considering the big four firms was the KPMG, I applied through online.
Hmm.
Through online, but I didn't get response yet, because they were in the process of shortlisting now. So that was a very time consuming process. Again, being the impatient girl, I went to their firm physically. I
Hmm.
physically went their firm and dropped my CV there.
Okay.
They were taking the CVs. Even they said me that wait, we are shortlisting online. It is a huge process. This will take a time. I said no, just look at my CV and I'm dropping it here. So at that moment, the HR said me that you should come for the interview tomorrow after watching my CV in the
Okay.
KPMG.
Hmm.
So and on the next day I went for the interview at the KPMG, and when I came back from, it was my first interview with the HR. And
Hmm.
when I came back home from the interview, at the moment when I reached home, I got the second interview call for the partner interview.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I just reached home and I got the call that you are scheduled for the second interview with the partner.
So this is at
And
KPMG, but at the end you ended up in ENY.
yeah, there's a huge story beside this, that after I gave my partner interview, so partner kept me on the hold for the long time, because they have other candidates as well to
Right.
shortlist.
Got
And
it. And you being impatient,
yeah,
you didn't
exactly.
wait.
Yeah, so I started looking for other firms as well. Then I looked for PwC, Ferguson.
Hmm.
I applied there as well, and there was a test which was of like English and basic IQ test, general knowledge test, and all. But my test went so good, but I didn't get response from that Ferguson. And after so many days, I got the response. Like I got the call from the KPMG and Ferguson both.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But in mid of that, the call was very much late, so I looked for EY. The situation is that EY is not currently opening the inductions in Pakistan.
Hmm.
It is because Pakistan's stability is going down somehow economically. So
Hmm.
the job market in Pakistan is very much, I think, it's like that. Opportunities are very much less,
Hmm.
and and the students are more.
Got it. Hmm.
Yeah, so this is what the process is, which has been a bit difficult for the students as well. It was for me as well. So I kept myself active on the LinkedIn. I reached the HR of the EY through
Okay.
LinkedIn.
Is it
Yeah,
like you saw the opening on the ACCA careers, right?
yeah,
And via that you came to know that there is a need of a candidate. So you started applying, you applied online as well, and you physically dropped your CV. That's what I got to know from to KPMG.
yeah.
And otherwise, you were networking with the HR of that firm, and so it
The
was via LinkedIn.
HR was of the EY.
Right. So for ENY, you just was in contact with the HR of that particular department.
Yeah, because they were not hiring these candidates. They are not opening the inductions.
Ah, okay, got it, got it.
So
So
that
you just hit the conversation with the HR, or what was it like?
I just started talking with them. Before my result, I reached him.
Yeah,
I
right.
asked him that I want to apply in the ENY, and he said, "Are you SSC affiliate?" I said, "No, my result is awaiting." He said, "Contact me later on." Then I contacted him again, and then he didn't respond me for much time, and then I asked him his email.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote very powerful email to him, HR, which I reached him through emails. And by chance, my email was so influential that I got the response. Through emails, then I got the response for applying at the EY. I filled the form, and after filling the form at the EY, they called me for the first interview.
Yeah.
And when I gave the first interview, they said still you have to give the test as well.
Hmm.
And then they took my three tests, which was first of the English, and then another was accountings, and another was uh, general knowledge, like IQ test.
Right.
After clearing those three tests, they called me for the partner interview.
Right. So
Uh,
basically, you gave interview in KPMG as well. You got shortlisted there also, but they kept you on hold. So you went for
yeah,
EY,
yeah,
and
yeah,
there also you got selected. Like it is just that you have to break that ice. You have to enter that interview process, and once you enter that, it's all about your skills, right?
yeah, exactly.
So that's the pain point. That how do
Like
you reach
I
out?
think I ran so much. Like day and night I struggled a lot. It wasn't possible because EY hire नहीं कर रही थी students को, and this was my effort that I wrote the emails to the HR, and then I contacted them and all that. वो हो सकता था मेरी emails नहीं भी accept हो सकती थी, but it was like I kept it very much powerful that it melted them somehow, you can say.
What was the power in that email? The public
Like
wants to know.
I kept it very honest, man. Like since the start of the ACCA,
Hmm.
EY was my dream.
Hmm.
Joining the EY was dream, but at the moment when it was not hiring, so I was bit like I was bit like confused that whether they will hire me or not. But in that email, I wrote all my feelings and emotions completely. That I want to join EY. It has been my dream, and I want to contribute for your company as for your firm as well, and all that. I wrote that. Then they gave me opportunity, like they gave me the form, but after filling the form, they still kept me on the hold for the 15 days.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Out of it. And then they called me for the first interview with the HR. I cracked that first interview, and then they said me that you have to give the test.
Right. Got it.
Then I get the test, and after clearing those tests, then they called me for the second interview, which was with my partner and
Hmm.
partner interview. And after partner interview, I was really confused because KPMG वालों ने मुझे होल्ड पे रखा था पार्टनर इंटरव्यू के बाद. तो अभी जब मैं EY का पार्टनर इंटरव्यू देने जा रही थी, तो आई वाज बिट नर्वस कि पार्टनर से डर लगने लगा था मुझे. I was a bit confused, but I cracked that interview as well. Like EY's partner on the spot said me that we would like you to join us.
Wow.
So that how I went in the EY, and then the formalities, document submission, and after submission of my original documents in the EY, I got the call from the KPMG.
Okay.
So
So what was better financially? Like, don't give the range, but what was better financially, AY or KPMG?
are you asking for the in the perspective of salaries or in perspective of
Salary.
financial sectors?
Like salary.
Salary. I think EY is better.
Right.
EY is a lot better, like in environment. The environment is very much friendly,
Mm-hmm.
and they took. And yes, one more thing I want to mention: they 200 applicants applied there in the EY.
Okay.
Some went through the reference, some dropped their CVs, and some of like me, I wrote the emails, and but they only choose to the 5%. No, five students, which is 2% of the 200 applications.
Hmm. Correct.
5%, five, but those four were CA. I was just as a CA affiliate.
ACCA, right. So you were the
Yeah,
only ACCA affiliate, rest were CAs of Pakistan.
yeah, they were just CAF qualified, like from the CA background.
Right. So what do you feel like since you're working also now, how many ACCA background people are there in your firm, in your department, and do you feel that that ACCA is worth doing in the given situation where it's like a substitute to CA, or what do you feel about this? Like, do you feel a little less valued as compared to CAs in the working environment?
No, I don't feel that. First of all, I will speak the honest truth is that when I was doing SCCA, so I faced that people were giving a privilege to the CA, like more value to the CA ones and less to the SCCA. This somehow used to confuse me. But when I have entered in the EY, this thing has eliminated because they have kept me together with the CA ones.
Correct. So you all five were hired, and there were four CAs and one
Yeah.
ACCA. So you are
But
in level with them.
I'm on that platform, but currently the seniors that I'm working with them at my client side. So they all are from CA. They have completed their articleship as well, and I'm working with them, which is, I think there's no discrimination or anything. I don't feel any discrimination. I think SSC is worth doing if you are a skillful person, if you have that talent.
Correct, correct. So, what all skills do you think are required in the job since you're working now? And how do they resonate to what you've studied in your ACCA?
Can you repeat your question again?
So, what skills do you think that are needed at the job? And how do you think that ACCA meets those needs? What we've studied in ACCA resonates to what we do in job.
I think skills that you need to have is, I think, the Excel.
Hmm.
There should be the grip on your Excel, because you do all the works on the computer. So you need to have the basic knowledge like shortcut keys,
Hmm.
Control C, Control V. Because when you go on the job, and just like me, I don't have like ABC of the computer, Excel.
Hmm.
So I don't know. So I face issue like somehow the work that I need to do in hour, I take that into 2 hours.
Hmm.
somehow आई थिंक अगर हम एसएससी जर्नी के दौरान ही थोड़ा एक्सेल का कोर्स करें एंड एक्सेल को थोड़ा टाइम दें, सो आई थिंक द जॉब प्रोसेस, जॉब के वक्त आपको ना ये स्किल बहुत काम आएगी somehow.
Right. I've
And
heard it from many people. They say the same thing that you should do something related to Excel, some type of certification. And I think that would add value to your CV also. Because
yeah,
at the
yeah,
end of the day, that's what they're looking for. They know the employers that we need a person who's taking 1 hour for the 1 hour task.
yeah, exactly. I think Excel is very much important that one should do during the SSC. I think when there are like जब हमारे एग्जाम्स हो जाते हैं तो हम थोड़ा फ्री होते हैं, तो आई थिंक
Yeah.
उस टेन्योर में हम कर सकते हैं एक्सेल वाला सीन, हमें करना चाहिए. That's very much impactful when you do the job. And considering your theoretical knowledge, that also matters as the like basic ISAs, basic standards that are being applied. Because जब सेल्स की हम अकाउंटिंग्स करते हैं, ऑडिटिंग करते हैं, तो वहाँ पे वो IFRS 15 लगता है वहाँ पे. So that's how somehow I think knowledge is very much basic in that as well. Concepts clear होने चाहिए उनके.
Very right. And since you talked about the standards and auditing, so you are in the audit role, right?
Yeah.
So what was interviewed from you? Like what questions were asked in the technical front? Which area were they related from?
I think mostly my interviews, wherever I gave, my technical interview was mostly from the IFRS 15 revenue from the contracts. Like all those 5 steps they were asking me. And moreover, leases is very much important standard.
Hmm.
And in audit, I think there's the whole audit report, the contents of those audit report.
Correct. So
Yeah.
basically, it was HR round. Then you had a paper, skill paper, where you were supposed to do basic IQ and English test.
Yeah.
And then you had the partner round. And in this partner round, technical questions were asked. Am I
No,
right?
my technical questions were asked in the HR interview.
Okay, in the HR itself. And what
Yeah.
was the partner like? They would have got to know you. What are your future goals and
Yeah,
ambitions?
yeah. Partner asked the basic question why you want to join their firm,
Hmm.
and what's your aim, why you want to come here, why not other firms, why not industry, because industry I think pays more than the firms.
Right,
So
right.
the partner asks these basic questions which are very general, like about your aim, about your career and all that. Do you want to move foreign as well? They also ask these questions as well.
So what
But
did you reply? Like, what do you think should be the apt reply
I think,
diplomatically?
yeah, I think when it comes to the why they're from, like just like I was questioned why EY.
Hmm.
So I think the answer should be that it's a big four firm, it's an international firm, and it is a good client portfolio as well. And it was my dream as well. So I also told them that when I started ACCA, it was dream since the beginning. But if you say like their client portfolio is good, like they do both clients, financial and non-financial, they have the big clients, they have the good environment. Because जब आप बाहर से भी आप सुनते हो ना उनके environment के लिए, आपको अब मुझे हर कोई कहता है कि EY is such a good environment. So that's
Hmm.
how these are the basic answer that you can give, that it's a big four firm, it is a good client portfolio, and tell about that you want to join this as because it's your dream as well if it is. So that's how you can tell them that the why EY and why KPMG, why Ferguson and all that.
And you shouldn't be telling such things, I think, like not telling, you should be honest, but you shouldn't be showing your intent that I might shift in a very short duration, or I want to go abroad, or I have such plans.
No,
So,
you should not tell this to the interviewer
yeah, because
because
then they know that you leave. So that's, they want to retain the employee that they train.
yeah, exactly. If we are doing the contract, so they want to retain us for their tenure of that. So you should say that we don't have currently such plans. Maybe in the future, but currently we don't have any such plans for moving abroad and all that.
Correct, correct. So basically, you said in the interview, it was the ISAs and the IFRS, especially IFRS 15 and IFRS 16, which
Yeah.
was mostly asked. And then there were basic questions from the HR and the partner, which was related to your ambition and goal.
Yeah,
So,
and also the audit report, whole audit report, audit risk and audit risk, business risk. They were also asking me in the scenario type, like they asked me one question that if Gulaman has out of stock in their inventory is outdated, so
hmm,
what's their risk? Like somehow like these questions.
yeah. So that's what we study in AAA. That was our plus
Yeah,
point. You
yeah,
recently studied AAA and then you must have been able to answer.
yeah,
Awesome.
exactly. I think triple A should be your last paper.
I also gave AAA last.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice if you're giving triple A the
So
last paper
you passed
because
AAA in the first go?
yeah, yeah, first.
Awesome. That's also an achievement, That's an achievement in itself.
या आई थिंक क्योंकि ट्रिपल आई पढ़ने से दो फायदे होते हैं आपके आइजर्स भी रिवाइज हो जाते हैं एंड आपके स्टैंडर्ड्स भी रिवाइज हो जाते हैं जो IFRS 15 की IFRS एंड IFRS 9 फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स एज वेल वाज एक्ट एज वेल
Oh,
बेसिक
wow.
डेफिनेशंस या
Basic definition, not hedging part.
हाँ फेयर वैल्यू की डेफिनेशंस इन्वेंट्री का जो नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू का फॉर्मूला होता है वो पूछा गया था मुझसे लाइक वी इग्नोर मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम द बेसिक थिंग्स आई थिंक ये हमें याद होनी चाहिए जैसे नेट रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू का हमें फॉर्मूला याद ही नहीं होता बिकॉज हम इतनी बड़ी चीजें पढ़ जाते हैं तो हम उनको इतना ध्यान नहीं देते सो आई
Hmm.
थिंक लिटिल थिंग्स मैटर अ लॉट इन योर इंटरव्यू
Correct, correct. So standards are very important in the interview.
हाँ
So we can conclude with this. Like I've heard this from many people that SBR and AAA, these are the two subjects which are core of your studies in ACC.
exactly these two play the huge role in your job in your career life and in your professional life as well.
True, true. Okay, so what would you like to suggest to people who are from Pakistan and they are studying, they are part qualified? So I want you to answer this, that should they start looking for the job after 9 exams or after qualification? What's preferred in your point of view?
I think if they can manage two things at a time, like if they can manage their internship and as well as their paper, if their paper is not being affected with their job, because job requires you to stay from 9 a.m. to 6 a.m. It's a
Hmm,
8 hours at the job, and when we come back, we feel very exhausted, and then उसके बाद पढ़ना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. तो I think अगर if पाकिस्तान में अगर लोग इंटर्नशिप को मैनेज कर पाते हैं स्टूडेंट्स so they should go ahead. Otherwise, I will not suggest because job life is very much tough. You have to give your full input.
right.
So, if you should join when you are SSC finalist because you are left with the last papers. Last if you are left with one or two papers, so I think you should go ahead because firms also prefer the people who are SSC affiliate either they are SSC finalists if they have just one paper. पहले SSC finalist को नहीं उठाते थे. अब they have started opening SSC finalist as well.
I think from the employer's point of view, one point which comes to my mind is that if I was an employer and I know a student is giving the exam,
Hmm.
so that student will be diverted. He'll
Yeah.
work as a secondary thing and he'll be asking for leaves. So that is something which the employer might hesitate from as compared to someone who's already qualified. So,
Exactly. Like currently, I feel so relaxed in my job. I am very much focused on my job. I have the mind that I have to give best to my job, and I have no restrictions that I have to give my paper and all that. But अगर जो पेपर के साथ अपनी internships कर रहा है ना, उसके लिए मुश्किल हो जाएगा, and I think failure के chances increase हो सकते हैं. Because job life is not that easy. You have to give your full input to the client. Sometimes late sittings होती है. You come home very much late. Like रात को आना पड़ता है. तो I think नहीं करना चाहिए आई डोंट प्रेफर जस्ट लाइक आई डिडंट डू दिस
Yeah, yeah, got
If you're
it.
not scared if you're not scared from the failure, and you are like you want to qualify your ACCA in second attempts and three, these things does not matter, then you should start. But these things used to matter for me,
There
so
are
this
some
is,
financial constraints also with some people, so if they want to start early,
yeah,
so
yeah. और फर्म्स में ना ACCA स्टेट्स वालों को हॉलीडेज नहीं मिलती इतनी जितनी सीए वालों को मिलती है. So that's a factor too. If they are giving their exams, so their holidays will not be that much.
उसका कोई रीजन, एनी रीजन फॉर दैट?
बिकॉज सीए वालों का जो शायद थोड़ा एक्सटेंडेड पीरियड होता है, एंड आई थिंक सीए वालों की आईकेप की तरफ से कुछ होता है उनसे फर्म्स के साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, क्योंकि उनकी जो आर्टिकलशिप होती है ना वो भी बाउंड होती है.
ओके,
बाइंडिंग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है, हमारा बाइंडिंग नहीं होता. यू कैन लीव एट द मोमेंट विद द क्लियर नोटिस पीरियड.
गॉट
Like
इट.
from SSA we don't have any restrictions, but from their ICAP they have the restriction. तो उनका जो पेपर्स वाला हॉलीडेज हर चीज जो होती है वो उनके अकॉर्डिंग होती है.
Okay, got it, got it. So that's like something very valuable which you've said. And last tip that you would like to give for all the people who are looking for job, maybe they are already ACC affiliates, still looking for the job, they are not able to find it. So what would you like to suggest them, that phase which is going on where we are qualified but we don't have a job?
Yeah.
And if they have like not yet qualified, should they start looking the job now, and what should be the tips and the tricks? Just in brief.
I think पहले तो I think don't discuss your job process with people around you, because I think this is the biggest demotivation factor in your life. I think I suffered most of the time just because of the people, they were rushing my thoughts so hard. So
Yeah.
that's why I think this is very much first and biggest step, that when if you are applying for the job, don't discuss it with people around you. Just
Hmm.
keep it very much private.
Yeah.
And next thing I will say that keep yourself active on the LinkedIn as much, and try to connect with the people like HRs. And if you are seeing any associate managers, assistant managers, try to just talk them within a respectful manner, and tell them that you have curiosity, you want to join a job. If your firm has any space, if you can forward my CV as well. So these are little techniques that may boost up you in the forward, because reference ke through be reference is not in the sense that they talk about you, they will just give your CV internally in the firm.
That's
तो
more
I,
reliable, credible.
या यू नीड समवन टू, आप अच्छे हो पढ़ाई में, हर चीज आपकी अच्छी है, यू आर क्वालिफाइड, यू हैव गुड स्कोर्स, बट स्टिल यू डोंट हैव अ जॉब. तो मसला ये होता है कि आपकी सीवी वहां तक नहीं पहुंचती समटाइम्स, क्योंकि सीवीज इतनी होती है, दे हायर सो मेनी पीपल, सो योर सीवी गेट्स इग्नोर्ड
Hmm.
समटाइम्स. तो वो
Yeah.
जो अगर आप लिंक्डइन के थ्रू इफ यू कनेक्ट योरसेल्फ विद द पीपल, so they will specifically give your CV that this is a CV we want you to hire, look for them. So
Hmm.
that there's the CV comes in the eyes of the HR, and they give concentration to those CVs. So I think try to connect with the people as much, and if you have any friend or if you have any relative in those firms, you should ask them that they should forward your CV, and also keep your CV very much simple and very much relevant. And mostly जो होता है ना ऐसे बच्चों की ना एक्स्ट्रा को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज में पार्टिसिपेशंस नहीं होती. आई थिंक
Hmm.
दैट आल्सो प्लेज अ चंक इन योर जॉब. लाइक they want to look for someone who has communication skills, someone who is very much active in other areas as well, not just not in a SCCA life. अगर
Yeah.
आप सीवी में जस्ट लिखोगे SCCA qualified, what about the other things? सो आई थिंक
Hmm.
जैसे वॉलंटियर करना चाहिए थोड़ा. ऑनलाइन जो सेमिनार्स होते हैं तो वो भी अटेंड किया आपने, आपकी ट्रेनिंग हो गई, यू शुड राइट दैट इन योर सीवी दैट यू हैव अटेंडेड इट, सो दैट समहाउ बिल्ड्स योर इंप्रेशन इन योर आई थिंक जॉब.
Yeah. So your personality should be versatile, not just that we are studying and we just act
Exactly.
as a nerd, but we should have a lot of other experiences, maybe
Like
in college.
yeah, just like I have so many experiences, and when I gave for the went for the HR interview, so he asked me each and everything in my CV, that what kind of training did you have done this and all that. So they give concentration to these things as well.
Yeah, especially in the basic roles, when you're not experienced. So
Yeah,
these things.
exactly. They do.
Correct. So that's, I think, it for today. And thank you so much, Meghna. You were such an inspiration for me as well, and for the students who will be listening to this. And we're proud of you. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights. And once again, congratulations. So, thank you so much for being here. I think all the students of ACCA in Pakistan and even abroad in India too. So, they would get to know some tips about how to crack a job interview.
Thank you so much for hosting me today, and I'm very much glad to be with you, especially. It's just like a luck, I think so.
No. You've been the lucky student. I remember I made that video of AFM and I said one
Yeah,
student is asking me for making this video.
yeah. I think we have some that connection,
Yeah.
like
So
you
I
are from
think anyone who's seen that video, she's that Meghna.
yeah, exactly.
AFM in 14 days.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that. Somehow you have one thing I want to mention. This person has a job a role in my SCG journey as well. Like the Miss Tashvita Gupta has done so much for me. I think if you go for SBR and triple A with her, I think you can crack everything. Like I wouldn't have done without her. She has supported me a
You
lot.
were not an enrolled student with me, right? You were
Yeah,
just.
I was not enrolled like your videos what on YouTube that helped me a lot. And when I used to text you personally, that I was in your random WhatsApp group, and you used to answer like you didn't think about this that I'm not your enrolled student, so why should I answer? But you used to give me, and your videos are very much helpful. I think I used to watch in my last days the anxiety and all that. Like the psychology of the person that what he or she is going through. So I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Uh,
you even used to text me, thank God you posted this. I
Yeah,
wanted this.
yeah, exactly. वो FM वाला 14 days वाला and I think जो last anxiety, last pressures because वो जो result का आना result के बाद जो में आने वाला होता है and we feel so pressurized नींद नहीं आती सारी रात so you used to give the very relevant videos. I think you have the role in my life as well. If it's not in role role, but you helped me a lot, and I think my family is familiar with you. They know you with your name properly.
Fine. Say
They
my
know
hi
me.
to one of them. Say
Yeah,
hi to
thank
one of
you.
them.
Bye.
Okay, thank you, Meghna.